Nat 20. Hi folks, Merlin here, bringing you another Dungeons and Dragons adventurer video. So we're kicking along with delivery 7 and we're on issue 24 today. So another jam-packed issue. We've got quite a few extra little bonus items, including one we didn't expect. So yeah, we'll have a look at those, of course, in due course. So first, let's take a look at the front cover of the issue. Issue 24 comes with a few new articles. So we have 4 articles on character creation, looking at our next 4 classes to reach 3rd level. We also become a Master of Disguise. We learn about the Fortress of Books, Candlekeep Library. And finally, we learn all about the Chuuls, or Chuuls, a rather nasty underwater creature. We, of course, have a brand new exclusive adventure, and, of course, the usual. So, as I said, we got a bumper amount of free gifts, starting with, of course, the dice, and they happen to be my favourite set of dice so far, the black-green premium set. And yeah, these look really nice. Can see myself using them for quite a few characters. Who knows, they might even see use in my current campaign. We, of course, then also get the next 4 character sheets. So we've got Ushog Bagok, our Orc Paladin. We got Zugan Shinoni, our Elf Druid. Ekrin Tippletoll, our Halfling Bard. Or Gnome Bard, sorry. And Karkroth Hiverax, our Dragonborn Barbarian. So 3rd level character sheets for them. And our bonus little item is, you might recognise backing. It's another beautiful map. And this one is pretty much the continent of Faerun, including the Sword Coast and the offshore islands there. So really nice, really detailed. We'll take a closer look at that. There's lots of interesting locations on here. So yeah, I can definitely see myself framing this and sticking it up on my gaming room wall. So before we jump over the table, a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters and YouTube subscribers. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can do so with the Patreon page, link in the video description. And also down there are links to my social medias, as well as eBay page and any affiliate links I have. Right, I think that's it. Let's hop over the table and we'll take a look at our brand new issue and all those fantastic free gifts. So here we are then with issue 24, and we are ready to start going through it. So we have our, of course, brand new issue. So we've got 3rd level bards, barbarians, and more. We also become a Master of Disguise, learning about the various ways of hiding ourselves. We learn about the Fortress of Books, the Candlekeep Library, and we face off against the pincer-wielding Chuuls, or Chuuls. So yeah, have a look at all of that in just a sec. So first off then, we'll take a look at our free gifts. So we'll give our dice a roll, take a flick through our new character sheets, and then we'll have a look at that beautiful map as well. So here's our dice, and they are beautiful. As I said, these are probably my favourite set. The green is nice and bright, so stands out really well at distance. And yeah, the nice chunky sized dice really got that premium feel going for them. So let's just see how well these actually roll. If I can get the bag open. Come on, don't fight me. There we go. So we can see them outside the bag. They got beautiful sheen to them as well. So yeah, they really do stand out. So let's give them a roll. Oh, that's a good roll. Nat 20. Yeah. Only a 2 on the D12, a 2 on the D8, 4 on the D10, and 80 on the D10, D100, 2 on the D4, and a 2 on the D6. Not the best on some of them, but wow, a nat 20. So yeah, I definitely like these dice. So as usual, we'll give them a second roll just to see how well they perform. Yeah, that's not much. That's not very nice. A 9 on the D20, 5 on the D6, 7 on the D10, a 3 on the D12, so we've only got one better. Down to a 20 on the D100, a 3 on the D4 though, and a 8 on the D8. So yeah, as I said before, for these premium dice, they look fantastic. They are really well done, nice and clear. And yeah, I can definitely see myself using one of these premium sets for my characters. And a 3, we're getting worse. Okay, I'm going to put them away before I rub off all the good luck. So, right, let's roll over to our character sheets. So we got our next 4 level 3 character sheets. So we got Karkroth Heverax here, our Dragonborn. So yeah, Barbarian, he's a soldier, has 32 hit points, so really tanky. Only just beating Irina from our previous set. Armor class 14, plus 2 initiative, 30 speed. Got his saving throws and skills there, his characteristics of course. Weapons are dagger, great axe, javelin, and of course being a Dragonborn, he has a breath weapon. We got his usual special features, so including Barbarian Rage there, his breath weapon rules, the Storm Aura, which is covered in our magazine. So this is new for level 3. Yeah. And then on the back we got his military rank, so he has a part of his soldier background, he has a chance to pull rank over certain military factions. And yeah, gain some extra benefits there as well. Next up, Ekrin Triple Toll, our Forest Gnome Bard. So, dagger and a rapier for her weapons. So, we have a few new improvements for this new level. So, Mantle of Inspiration and Enthralling Performance are brand new, which will be covered in the issue. Yeah, usual stuff there. She of course has a few new spell slots, and she has access to 2nd level spells as well. Moving on to Zugan Shinoni, Druid from the Circle of the Land, Wood Elf Hermit. So yeah, so new, I think, for this is the Mask of the Wild from the Circle of the Land. Plus, we also have a few little extra spells that are exclusive to the Circle of the Land. So, yeah, we got 4 spell slots at 1st level and 2 at 2nd. So, Bark Skin and Spider Climb are his Circle of the Land bonuses there. So he always has these 2 spells prepared in addition to the other 2 he can prepare. So yeah, he's got a good amount of spell slots now. So he's a pretty spell wizened druid there. And finally, Ushuk Bagok, Orc Paladin there. So yeah, armor class 16, so has all the armor pretty much. Still only got great sword and short sword for weapons. So lay on hands here is his ability to heal there. Divine Sense, Divine Smite, and Channel Divinity as well. And yeah, we've got a couple extra spell slots as well for leveling up to level 3. And for her allies and organizations, she has a contact in her spy network from her previous calling. So yeah, that's our character sheets. Now we'll take a look at that map, and finally we'll get into issue 24. So here we have the map of the continent of Faerun, and yeah, it's really nice, lovely, detailed, nice matte satin sort of finish, nice and smooth, not too shiny as well. Like I said, this is definitely going to require being framed for protection. I don't think it will last too well if it gets damp at all. So yeah, we've got notable pathways that we've trekked, roads, etc. Yeah, Baldur's Gate and the coastway all the way down. All our different locations we visited and some that we haven't yet. So we've got the locations of the Sword Mountains up there. Troll Cave, Trollbark Forest, the Serpent Hills, the High Moor, Forest of Worms. Yeah. Just a really nicely detailed map. We even go over to the Moonshae Isles and the Sea of Moonshae, into various different oceans, which I'm guessing is where our soon-to-be water on the sea quest is going to be taking part on. Yeah. Not a lot I can say, just really nicely detailed. The forests are all picked out in the same sort of rough tree design. Mountains are picked out quite nicely. And rougher areas of lowland, etc. And yeah, all the mountains, even the high ice there. So yeah, really nice detailed map to add to our collection. And it'll look great on any gaming room wall. Sadly, it is only one side. We do have the basic red there, same as our map of the area surrounding Phandalin. But yeah, pretty good. Right, moving on, let's take a look at issue 24. So my front cover's come off after taking off the character sheets last night. So we can flip that over and we'll start looking through issue 24. So we have Adventure Free Encounter 24, the Blue Lake Menace. We got quite a few pages for character creation. So we have an overview on the Master of the Skies feature. We have Bard, Barbarian, Druid, and Paladin features of the 3rd level in classes. Then for locations, we have Candlekeep and monsters, the Chuuls or Chuuls. Yeah, issue 24 comes with 3rd level character sheets for Bard, Barbarian, Druid, and Paladin. You get a map of the continent of Faerun, plus a set of impressive green dice. And yeah, they are impressive, really nice. So yeah, let's move on and take a look at things we have in the issue. So we have an overview here on the Master of the Skies ability. Not everyone is all they appear in the Forgotten Realms, and there are many benefits to being a great pretender. So yeah, nice article that goes over how best to utilize being able to disguise yourself. Saying you want to infiltrate a sect of cultists, perhaps get past a guard bar in the way. So yeah, having the power of disguise will give you bonuses in usually charisma, depending on deception, persuasion, or even intimidation or performance checks there. Depending on the type you need to make to get around your intended audience. So yeah, there's multiple ways, well, only a couple of ways really, you can disguise yourself. There's, of course, the disguise kit. So this contains cosmetics, hair dyes, props, and clothing. Best way to create a false identity, as they are usually longer wearing than a spell that only lasts for an hour. It takes you 10 minutes to create a disguise and 1 minute to put it on. One disguise will be carried at a time and weighs a pound in weight. And yeah, you can make moderate changes to your appearance, such as applying a fake beard, covering distinguishing marks, or more elaborate changes, such as false nose, pointed ears, etc. will take around half an hour to apply. Yeah, we've got a guy here disguising himself as a birdman with a beak there. So the other way you can mainly disguise yourself with is the first level spell, Disguise Self. So it's not a foolproof way of disguising yourself. Firstly, it only lasts an hour, whereas a physical disguise can last indefinitely if it goes undamaged. Secondly, it does not withstand physical inspection, as the disguise is not tangible. With a successful intelligence investigation check against your spell save DC, a creature will see right through your disguise. So other methods of disguise, so without actually shape-shifting, most other disguise methods are simply variations of the above two. One very interesting twist on disguise mastery is offered by the Mantle of Whispers feature gained by the College of Whispers Bard at level 6. So yeah, a few other ways that you can get it. There's magic items such as the Hat of Disguise and the Mask of Many Faces invocation. So yeah, pretty cool items. Finally, then we have a tip here all about role-playing your disguise. So taking on another personality gives you, the player, a chance to actually act out of your own character's personal way of being acted. So yeah, if you're usually a smooth-talking elf, like my character, you might need to take on a more gruff appearance. So you get to play around with different accents and the like. Moving on to features of the third level, we're looking at Bard first of all. So at third level, Bards choose from a variety of colleges of words and wit that will define their characters for the rest of their career, and more. So by their very nature, Bards are gregarious beings who seek out usually each other's companies. When they get together, they'll swap songs and stories, boast of their accomplishments, and share knowledge to preserve traditions. So yeah, over the page we'll have a look at one of the colleges. So the College of Glamour is what our Forest Gnome Bard takes on. So to use their magic to delight and captivate audiences, performances are often the stuff of legend. Villainous bards of this college can use it to enthrall a community for weeks on end, misusing their magic to leech off their hosts. So as I mentioned earlier, we get two new features at third level and taking on the College of Glamour. So we have the Mantle of Inspiration. This feature boosts both the vigour and speed of your allies. As a bonus action, you grant themselves a wondrous appearance. Then you choose a number of creatures equal to your charisma modifier within 60 feet. Those creatures that must be able to see the bard and the bard be able to see them. Each gain 5 temporary hit points. And yeah, it can even use its reaction to make a movement up to its speed and without triggering opportunity attacks. So, for example, pre-generated Bard Ekrin has a 4+ to her charisma modifier. When she uses the Mantle of Inspiration, she can affect up to 4 other creatures that she can see and which can see her within 60 feet. Secondly, then, we have Enthralling Performance. So College of Glamour Bards can also charge their performances with seductive Fey magic. If they sing, recite a poem, play an instrument, or dance for at least 1 minute, they can attempt to inspire wonder in their audience once they have performed. The bard can choose a number of humanoids within 60 feet who watched and listened to their entire performance, up to a number equal to their charisma modifier again. Each target must pass a successful wisdom saving throw or be charmed by the bard. While charmed, you will idolize a bard. You will do anything in your power to protect the bard. Usually you can't get violent unless you were already getting aggressive in the service before the bard, pretty much. Once you use this feature, you can't use it until you finish a short or long rest. So, again, Ekrin can enthrall 4 different creatures within the 60-foot range, making a saving throw of 14, or else they'll be charmed. So at 3rd level, you gain expertise, so you can choose to become an expert in 2 skills of your choice. For our forest gnome, we have chosen acrobatics and animal handling, deception, perception, and survival, as those are skills she's already proficient in. Spellcasting at 3rd level, you gain 1 new 1st level slot and 2 2nd level slots, plus this gives you access to 2nd level spells for the first time, has added the spell Cool Emotions as her 2nd level spell. And then your hit points are increased by 1d8 or the average of 5, plus constitution bonus there as well. Moving on then, we'll have a look at the Barbarian at 3rd level. When a Barbarian draws strength from animal spirits, storms, or even a primal god, their rage takes on greater power. So we start looking at the different nature storms that a Barbarian can take on and can channel. So, for instance, when a Barbarian reaches 3rd level, the path they choose determines the source of their rage. So, for our pre-generated character, Karkroth follows the path of the Storm Herald. So, who follow this learn to transform their rage into a mantle of primal magic, which swirls around them in a fury. There'll be other ones in future articles, but we're looking at ones that mainly focus on the characters we have at our disposal. So, Primal Knowledge, when a Barbarian of any path reaches 3rd level, they gain proficiency in 1 skill of their choice from animal handling, intimidation, nature, or perception. Pre-generated character Karkroth has gone for animal handling, as he likes animals better than he does people. So the Storm Aura is a new feature, so you gain different ability depending on where you channel your rage from. So, as part of the storm, you can choose either the desert, the sea, or the tundra as your source of your rage. And you can trigger this straight off as you go into a rage, and also on each consecutive turn as a bonus action. So, a nice little feature there. So, if you are channeling the desert, all creatures in your aura range takes 2 fire damage. If you channel the sea, choose any other creature they can see within that aura range. The target must take a dex save, taking 1d6 lightning damage on a failed save or half on a successful. And Tundra, each creature of the Barbarian's choice in the aura gains 2 temporary hit points as icy spirits lessen their suffering. Finally, our hit points increased by 1d12 or 7 plus our constitution modifier. Moving on to our Druid's 3rd level abilities. So Circle of the Land Druids always have certain spells prepared once they reach 3rd level. So as we know, Druids are caretakers of the natural world. They spend most of their time looking after nature and protecting those that can't protect themselves. So though countless sages and naturalists have filled tomes of studies of nature, a Druid has a unique, irreplicable wisdom. At some point, they begin to embody these natural forces. So at 2nd level, we join a circle that matches your mystical connection. We previously introduced Circle of the Land, and our pre-generated character Zugan Shinoni became a part of this at 2nd level. When Circle of the Land Druids reach level 3, they gain greater access to spells connected to their particular path. So at 3rd level, Druids gain an extra spell slot, adding a 1st level spell slot to the 3 they already have, as well as, most excitingly, 2 2nd level spell slots. So for Circle of Land spells, a Circle of Land Druid will have already chosen a specific land type based on where they decided to follow their druidic life. Depending on this, depends on the spells you gain at 3rd level. And so we have a nice list here of spells that you get. So if you come from the Arctic land, you gain Hold Person and Spike Growth. Coast, Mirror Image and Misty Step, Desert, Blur and Silence, Forest, Bark Skin and Spider Climb, much like our Druid there, our Druid character. Grassland gains you Invisibility and Pass Without Trace, Mountain, Spider Climb and Spike Growth, Swamp, Acid Arrow and Darkness, and Underdark, Spider Climb and Web there. And we have pretty much Rasputin, I'm guessing, very evil looking Druid. Finally, then, for our hit point increase, we take 1d8 or 5 plus Constitution bonus there. Paladin features, finally then, of the 3rd level. So these inspired warriors choose an oath to uphold, granting them sacred powers. When you reach 3rd level, you take on a sacred oath. This binds them to a virtue they uphold. We also learn a bit more about different types of backgrounds we could take, and think about where our Paladin journey has begun. So, for instance, our pre-generated Paladin character Oshog follows the Oath of Devotion. We'll cover this further Paladin oaths in future articles. So, the Oath of Devotion binds a Paladin to the loftiest ideals of justice, virtue, and order. Often these are referred to as Cavaliers, White Knights, or Holy Warriors. Paladins meet the ideal of a knight in shining armour, acting with honour in the pursuit of justice and the greater good. Many who swear this oath are devoted to gods of law and good, using their gods' tenets as measures of their own devotion. So, tenets of devotion, depending on the god in question you've taken. So as you are a member of as you are dedicated to devotion here, so your tenets are honesty, don't lie, cheat, let your word be your promise. Courage, never fear or act, though caution is wise. Compassion, aid others, protect the weak and punish those who threaten them. Show mercy to your foes, but temper it with wisdom. Honour, treat others with fairness and let your honourable deeds be an example to them. Do as much good as possible while causing the least amount of harm. And finally, duty, be responsible for your actions and consequences, protect those entrusted to your care, and obey those who have just authority over you. So we also gain Channel Divinity. So when you take up an oath at 3rd level, you gain 2 new divinity options. Sacred Weapon allows you to effectively count your mundane item as a sort of a magic one. Emits a bright light within 20 feet and dim light 20 feet beyond that. If weapon is not already magical, it becomes magical for the duration of the spell. Can end this effect on their turn as part of any other action. If they are no longer holding or carrying this weapon, or if they fall unconscious, this effect also ends. We also have Turn the Unholy, so as an action you can present your holy icon, censuring fiends and the undead within 30 feet of you, making them take a wisdom saving throw. If they fail, they must immediately move as far away from you as possible. The only action they can take is a dash action. If there's a reason they can't take this, they can only take the dodge action. Spellcasting and oath spells. So at 3rd level, Paladins gain another 1st level slot, allowing them to cast 1 more 1st level spell before a long rest. Choosing an oath also gains a Paladin greater access to spells connected to that oath. Once Paladin gains access to an oath spell, they always have it prepared. So the 2 spells connected to Oath of Devotion are Protection from Evil and Good and Sanctuary. Finally then, our hit points are increased by 1d10 or 6 plus our Constitution modifier. Moving on to the lore articles for this issue then, we have our first one in the location of Candlekeep. The Great Library of Candlekeep holds the greatest collection of lore in the realms. Visitors must donate a written work that isn't already on its many shelves to gain entry. So, not the easiest thing to do for a place that has pretty much every written work in existence. But yeah, lovely little place, a fortified island. And yeah, we'll learn a bit more about it over the page. So, Visiting Candlekeep, the 5 avowed priests of Denir, the god of writing, are stationed at Candlekeep's towering black gates. Priests dressed in purple robes examine each entrance gift to check it meets criteria, and then you will either be allowed in or turned away. Visiting scholars, known as seekers, usually bring several books, hoping that one will prove adequate. Magical wards prevent sneaky folk from entering, so flying and teleportation. Seekers arrived in the Court of Air, a cobbled, spacious courtyard. Along the southern wall are several stone buildings, including a house of rest, the hearth, house of the winder, temple of Ogma, and the bathhouse. 12 towers, the pillars of pedagogy, are built into the northern wall. These hold dozens of reading rooms where visitors can study. The western end of the courtyard is a 15-foot tall door, translucent green stone. Here, seekers welcomed by the Keeper of the Eternal Emerald Door, who outlines the orders of accordance, see over here, and sends runners to arrange accommodation and rooms for private study. So yeah. So the order of accordance, so a few rules you got to follow while you stay in Candlekeep. So no fighting, no stealing, no copying, and no damaging, marking, or otherwise modifying the pre-existing works. Then we have a bit about the different avowed here. So the Keeper of Tomes is the head and governor of Candlekeep. Current keeper is a human archmage named Janussi, the devoted follower of Denir. The first reader is the Keeper of the Tomes. The first reader is responsible for growing Candlekeep's collection. The position is held by Bookworm, a dragonborn sage of the Green Dragon ancestry. Great readers. These are people who keep up the day-to-day operations of Candlekeep. The 8 great readers, who are scholars, each with a different area of expertise, such as either the gods, history, or culture. Finally, then we have the master readers. These are sages who oversee and teach the acolytes. And then finally, we have a chanter, so responsible for continuously reciting the prophecies of Alwando the Seer. The endless chant is kept up day and night by the chanter Benadora Stoneforge and her subordinates known as voices. Moving on, then we have a new monster to look at, the Chuuls or Chuuls. They're pretty cool, if you ask me. Dwelling in flooded caverns beneath the surface of the earth, these fearsome lobster-like aberrations possess large bone-snapping pincers and mouths ringed with writhing tentacles. So, Chuuls are dangerous predators that lurk in the subterranean lakes and rivers, standing guard over the ancient ruins of their former masters, the Aboleth. Measuring around 8 foot tall, these aberrations are a hideous blend of crustacean and insect. So yeah, they look pretty cool, but again, they're pretty ferocious looking. So they can have the ability to sense magic up to 120 feet away, and will often help gather this magic, whether it's person or item, in order to hopefully bring back their long abandoned masters. They also have dark vision, which is perfect for most of the environments they live in, which tend to be the lakes of the Underdark. When they attack, they use their large pincers for offense and their pretty thick chitin for defense. They also have a paralyzing venom that comes from the tentacles as well. So a tactical tip, if you are unlucky enough to encounter one, try to keep your distance. Their pincers can hit creatures within 10 feet of them. Their tentacles deliver a venom, but they themselves are immune to creatures' poisons. Their armor carapace makes it hard to hit, but they are slow to dodge, so warriors would be wise to keep their vicious claws at bay while spellcasters hammer them with spells like Burning Hands or beguile them with Tasha's hideous laughter. So they are guardians of the ancient ruins, so be careful when exploring around ancient temples of the Aboleth Empire. They are most likely going to be inhabited by a Chuul. Tales of these treasure-filled underwater ruins are told throughout the taverns of Neverwinter and Waterdeep, luring more adventurers, sadly to their deaths at the hands or tentacles of the Chuuls. So they have a primeval origin as well. So in the distant past, the Aboleths ruled a vast empire spanning the world's oceans. dominating most mortal races through powerful magic and enslaving them. Unable to leave their water and operate freely on dry land, the aboleths created the Chuuls as servitors. Unquestioning and obedient, these crustacean-like aberrations were sent out into the world to seize sentient creatures and magic and bring them back to their watery realms of the aboleth. They are bred to be resilient. Size and strength is fairly unmatched as they evolved throughout and increased throughout the evolution. All empires, though, are doomed to fall. As such, the abolethic's sovereignty was no exception. Power was shattered, and the enslaved captives of the aboleths were freed, yet, although the rule of their masters had collapsed, the Chuuls continued to follow their ancient orders. So yeah, if you're looking for an obedient creature and you have an aboleth background, yeah, these might be perfect pets for you. Finally then, for this issue, we have our brand new encounter. So, adventure-free encounter 24, the Blue Lake Menace. Balanced for third level characters, using your generated characters or your build your own. Playtime 1 to 2 hours. Encounter background. A monster is lurking within Blue Lake, a lake within the walls of Neverwinter. It's snatching people from the docks at night. The Winter Shield watchmen warn the locals from bathing and fishing in Blue Lake until the creature is dealt with. The monster is a Chuul, an aberration that slunk into the lake after crawling up from the Underdark. It was discovered and tracked by a wizardly scribe from the distant library of Candlekeep named Donek Emberheart, a wizard prideful enough to think he could communicate with and control so alien a creature as a Chuul. Donek learned to communicate with it telepathically, but as he probed the creature's thoughts, his mind somehow pricked itself upon an eldritch intelligence beyond his comprehension, a fragment of an aboleth's mind that once controlled this Chuul. Donek has become a thrall to a passing fancy of this long-vanished aboleth. Make Neverwinter a breeding ground for Chuul servitors. Donek brought his test subject to Blue Lake to spawn, and it laid dozens of eggs. In the past few days, the eggs began to hatch, and the fish in the lake no longer sufficed to feed the vile brood. Bringing a live Chuul into Neverwinter without drawing attention to it is a difficult task, especially for an outsider. To aid this effort, Donek reached out to the Skull, a Neverwintian leader of the cult of Orcus, demon prince of the undead. In exchange for the cult's aid, Donek promised to share the whereabouts of a profane artifact, a tome filled with secrets of necromancy. The Skull accepted and used the cult's influence to deliver the Chuul into Blue Lake. So yeah, we begin our encounter. So we are greeted with a notice saying, "Monster Slayers needed! A man-eating monster swims in Blue Lake. 400 gold pieces rewarded upon proof of death. Sir Lanavier Strial ordered a gauntlet." So Sir Lanavier is back again, asking help to do things that apparently he can't do himself, or doesn't want to do. So yeah, we obviously agree to take up the challenge. So we need to learn about the creature in question. So we approach the lake. We have a suspicious observer, which is Donek. There's a treasure. He carries several valuables on his person, including a golden brazier with the imagery of a piercing blue eye and a silver oblong pendant with 3 eyes on it. So yeah. So Donek's research notes. So these are the remains of his tattered books that he has researched on the aberrations. So yeah, got quite a few here. Moving over then, we have the hunt, obviously, to try and track down the monster. We have a distressed mage, so if Donek is somehow still alive, he runs over to the area of the fight. A few minutes after the encounter ends and the corpse of the Chuul or any part of it is visible, he cries and accuses the adventurers of slaying this majestic creature. Oh dear. So yeah. And we have a warning here about underwater combat. If you are forced to fight the creature underwater, you might want to consider those that can breathe a lot better, and perhaps those can deal more damage and get out of the situation. So, if the adventurers kill Donic and remain in the area for more than 10 minutes, a couple of cultists dressed as watchmen approach the scene. So, yeah, not very nice guys. They play part of the guards and ask what happened. They accept any explanation from the party and move to pick the corpse of Donic, claiming that they plan to bury it in Neverdeath. So, if you make a successful insight check here, you'll learn that something is amiss, and a further wisdom perception check reveals dried bloodstains on the guard's tabards. So, yeah. Finally, then we have the aftermath. So, if the party brings the corpse of the Chuuls, or a significant part of it, to Sir Laniver, they are gifted with the 400 GP promised. The party may be compelled to deal with the spawn of the Chuuls before they grow. If so, the Order of the Gauntlet intervenes and helps, offering to take over the cleanup. So yeah, they'll clean up, but they won't actually deal with the thing itself. The skull makes another appearance in Encounter 26, where the creatures can thwart their next plan and defeat them. Characters, not creatures. So for stat blocks then, we have the Chuuls, we have Donic there as well, and we have cultists. Right, that's it. I'll bring everything back in and give you my final thoughts on issue 24. So there we have issue 24 of Dungeons & Dragons Adventurer. A little bit of a longer video, I'm afraid, due to the extra content we've had. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. A fantastic issue, loads more information for our leveling up characters. Nice little article on how to disguise yourself and how to roleplay being disguised. That's pretty cool. And yeah, some new creatures as well as new location for us to learn about. Is pretty cool. Nice. It's nice that we learn about a creature and then straight up face it. It's pretty cool. Nice way of being introduced to the creatures on a sort of first-hand basis. So yeah, information in this issue is very strong. We'll be seeing quite a lot of this for the next two issues, as we have brand new characters, races, and classes to uncover. So we are getting a Tiefling Warlock, and we are getting a Halfling Monk as well soon. So yeah, it'll be quite nice to add to our play repertoire. Yeah, really looking forward to it. So yeah, the gifts then are pretty solid as well. So we have 4 new character sheets for our characters. So Karkroth, the Barbarian. We have Ekrin, the Bard. We have Zugan, the Druid. And finally Oshog, the Paladin. Yeah, nice new character sheets for them. We also have that beautiful map of Faerun. I really look forward to getting that framed and up on the wall. It's easily really nice. I hope we get more like this. As I've said before, I'd like to see artwork prints. Maybe not this size, but similar. Maybe perhaps just half the size. That'd be quite nice to see. Yeah, finally the dice then. Really nice set of dice. As I said, I do love the green. And oh, another nat 20. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to put those away before I rub off all the good luck. I might even start using that set tonight, but I want to try out my purple and gold set first, which I bought quite a while back and I've only just found. But yeah, might use these in a future game. Maybe you might even make up a character just to use them. Somebody who, perhaps a warlock with green abilities. That'd be quite cool. Yeah, other than that, all I can do for this issue really is give it a 5 out of 5. Solid issue, good lot of information, brilliant items of gifts. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the future issues. Like I said, we got brand new characters, classes, and races to discover. Plus, we also have a few new articles on locations and monsters. So yeah, a lot to look forward to in the near future. So, well, pretty much it. Thank you all very much for watching. Until next time, stay safe and keep rolling those crits.